Good evening, Internet. My name is Michael, and I'm here to review some stuff for you. Tonight, we're going to take a look at a children's movie from 1990 that was one of my favorites when I grew up. We're going to take a look at The Witches. Now, I'd read the back for you, but unfortunately, it's a compilation DVD, so it doesn't really have any info on it. This movie is interesting to say the least. Basically, the plot is that there are witches in the world, and they're very, very evil. The movie starts off in Norway, where a grandmother's telling her grandson about the evils of witches. They look like, well, they don't really look like normal people, but they masquerade as normal people. She tells them that the warning signs that it's a witch is they're bald, so they wear a wig. And while they're wearing the wig, they get horrible scalp rash, so they're always itching their hair. She also tells them that they don't have any toes, just their feet just end before there's toes, so they don't wear like pointy shoes or nice looking shoes, they just wear big comfy shoes. And she said another way to tell is they have like purple eyes. If you look at it in a certain light, their eyes are purple. And they hate children. They hate children to such an extent that their pretty much only goal in life seems to be to murder children. And she gives a spooky example from her childhood of a girl she knew that had been a witch had gotten her and trapped her in this painting, and it's actually kind of creepy. After the grandmother is explaining all about witches to her grandson, he goes to bed, and his parents go off for a night on the town. And unfortunately, they die in a car accident, so he's left with his grandmother. And they move to her house in England. And anyway, they're staying in England for a while. Things are going pretty okay for the kid. You know, he's recovering from the loss of his parents and everything. When it turns out his mother has diabetes and she collapses, I guess, from low blood sugar or something. And the doctor tells her she needs to stop eating sugars, and also she should go on vacation. So they go to a hotel by the sea. Unfortunately for our young hero, there's also a convention of witches. That's right, the yearly convention of the English witches is taking place in the same hotel this boy goes to. So anyway, after he goes there, hijinks ensue. He accidentally sits in and hears the plan of all the witches. And basically, all the witches in England are going to buy up candy shops and serve chocolates free one day. And everybody that eats the chocolates will turn into mice. So they can murder all the children in England by turning them into mice. And then the boy gets caught. He gets turned into a mouse. And this is where the movie really picks up. The second half of the movie, he's a mouse the entire time. And he teams up with his grandmother and another kid. There's this fat kid at the place who's named Bruno. They team up and they end up getting revenge on the witches at the very end. And then at the very end, he gets turned back at the very, very last. And happy ending for all. All in all, this is a pretty good movie. One of the entertaining things I found was it has Rowan Atkinson in it. If you don't know who he is, he's in like Mr. Bean and some other stuff. And while he's not really, really hilarious in this movie, he does have some pretty good parts. Another interesting thing is the special effects. They use an interesting like combination of actual mice. Like whenever the mice are just running around, they use actual mice. That was pretty cool. But when it does close-ups and they're talking, yeah, he could talk when he's a mouse. So there's that. They use puppets, and it's done by Jim Henson's company. So it's pretty good work. And for 1990, it looks pretty good. Another thing is that this movie shows really evil witches. I mean, you know, besides the whole, they tell you that they're going to murder all the children in England, but it also shows them doing some pretty crazy stuff. When they catch the boy, he runs from them. They're in the convention center and he runs from them. And he actually does some pretty cool stuff. He flips over tables and stuff, but he also breaks a window and jumps through. And he would have gotten away, except the evil Grand High Witch, they're standing on like atop of a hill near a cliff. She pushes a baby and a baby stroller down the hill, and the boy manages to stop it, but that's what allows him to get caught in the end. But yeah, she pushes a baby in a baby stroller down a hill towards a cliff. And there's a couple scenes where other witches are just giggling and jumping up and down and clapping, waiting for the kid to die. So that was pretty crazy. And also how the ending with the witches, how they all die in the end, that's pretty crazy too. I won't spoil it for you. I'll give you a chance to go watch the movie and see all of the great highlights of it. There's even some adult humor here and there that's kind of hidden, so the kids don't know, but the parents can, get a little bit of a chuckle. Anyway, I'll give this movie a 5, and I highly recommend you watch it. Anyway, that's all I got for this time, and stay tuned for next time.